Welcome to Sciencepect, where we explore the frontiers of science, technology, and space. Today, we're talking about a machine that looks like it flew straight out of a science fiction novel, but is very much real and potentially humanity's ticket to the stars. SpaceX's Starship, this isn't just another rocket. It's an audacious gamble, a technological leap, and for many, the key to unlocking our future as a species. But why does humanity need this giant rocket so much? Let's dive in. For decades, space travel has been incredibly difficult and prohibitively expensive. Think about it. To get a payload or even a person into orbit or beyond. We've relied on multi-stage rockets where most of the vehicle is simply thrown away after use. Each launch meant building largely new hardware. Imagine flying a Boeing 747 across the Atlantic and then scrapping it after it landed. That's essentially been the economics of space. This fundamental inefficiency has limited what we can do in space. Satellites are costly to launch. Deep space probes are rare and expensive. The idea of sending significant numbers of humans or large amounts of cargo beyond low Earth orbit has remained largely in the realm of theory. This is precisely the problem SpaceX's Starship is designed to solve. Starship, along with its massive first-stage booster, Super Heavy, represents a radical shift. The goal is full and rapid reusability. Both the booster and the spacecraft are designed to return to Earth and be ready for another flight quickly and with minimal refurbishment, much like an airplane. Why is this reusability so critical? Because it slashes the cost of accessing space by orders of magnitude. If you can reuse your launch vehicle hundreds or thousands of times, the cost per launch drops from hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars, down to potentially just the cost of fuel and refurbishment, perhaps a few million. This changes everything. So, let's get to the core question. Why does humanity need Starship? Firstly, as we just discussed, cost reduction. Cheaper access to space isn't just a business benefit. It's a fundamental enabler for science, exploration, and industry. Imagine universities or small companies being able to afford sending experiments or small satellites to orbit regularly. Imagine building large structures in space, like solar power farms or manufacturing facilities, becoming economically viable. Cheaper launches mean we can send more probes to explore the solar system, build larger telescopes, and conduct more research that benefits life here on Earth. Starship makes the vastness of space accessible in a way never before possible. Secondly, and perhaps most profoundly, Starship is designed to enable humanity to become a multi-planetary species. Why is this important? Think of it as an insurance policy for the human race. Relying solely on one planet, no matter how wonderful, leaves us vulnerable to catastrophic events, whether natural or human-made. Having self-sustaining colonies on other worlds significantly increases our long-term survival prospects. Mars is the most accessible planet for long-term colonization. It has an atmosphere, water ice, and sufficient sunlight. But getting there and staying there requires a massive amount of cargo and a significant number of people. Current rockets simply aren't up to the task of transporting the hundreds of tons of equipment and hundreds of people needed to build a self-sustaining colony. Starship, with its immense size and payload capacity, and crucially, its ability to be refueled in orbit, is specifically being developed for this purpose. Orbital refueling is key because it allows the spacecraft to leave Earth orbit with a full tank, ready for the long journey to Mars, something impossible with traditional single-launch systems for payloads this size. Starship is not just a ride to Mars. It's the vehicle to establish a permanent presence there. This isn't just exploration, it's expansion. Thirdly, Starship is set to revolutionize the entire space industry and beyond. Beyond Mars, Starship is the designated vehicle for NASA's Human Landing System, chosen to return astronauts to the Moon for the Artemis program. It could facilitate point-to-point travel on Earth, delivering cargo anywhere in under an hour. This could enable space tourism on an unprecedented scale. Could make large-scale asteroid mining or resource utilization economically feasible in the future. Its disruptive potential extends into almost every area related to space and high-speed transport. But this incredible potential doesn't come without immense challenges. Starship development is happening at an astonishing pace, using an iterative, build-and-test approach that is highly visible and often involves rapid disassembly, shall we say, during testing. We've seen incredible progress in recent test flights. The Super Heavy booster, performing complex maneuvers. Successful stage separation, including hot staging. Starship vehicle reaching space, demonstrating unpressurized propellant transfer and surviving large portions of re-entry. We've also seen failures. Engines not igniting, control issues, vehicles not surviving re-entry or landing attempts. Each test provides critical data, showing what works and what needs fixing, from complex software algorithms to the heat shield tiles. This public rapid iteration is challenging, but allows for incredibly fast learning and development towards the ultimate goals of full reusability and reliability. The journey is far from over. Upcoming tests aim to perfect the booster and Starship landings, demonstrate orbital refueling, and prove the system's robustness. The stakes are incredibly high, not just for SpaceX, for the global space community, and ultimately for the future trajectory of humanity. In conclusion, Starship isn't just the next big rocket. It's a vehicle designed from the ground up to shatter the economic and logistical barriers that have kept space exploration limited. By drastically reducing costs through reusability and providing the sheer capacity needed for large-scale transport, Starship offers humanity a credible path to becoming a multi-planetary species, expanding our reach, increasing our security, and unlocking untold potential in science, technology, and industry. This ambitious project embodies humanity's drive to explore, innovate, and secure its long-term future among the stars. Whether it's landing on Mars, building a lunar base, or simply making space accessible for everyone, Starship represents a critical piece of the puzzle. A piece humanity desperately needs to build its future. What are your thoughts on Starship and its importance? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by the cutting edge of science and technology, make sure you subscribe to Sciencepect for more videos like this. Click the link below to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.